Good afternoon. My name is Private First Class Harold Greider. My mom and dad, Carl and Vida Mae Greider, lived in Etna Township in Whitley County when I was born in 1921. I spent the early years in Etna going to primary school and became a young boy over there before the family moved to Kosciuszko County. That moved me into the Pierceton School District, where I continued to get some education in the primary school and then graduated into the North Webster schools. I attended North Webster High School and graduated in 1939. My favorite sport was basketball, and I played 2 years of basketball with the varsity team at the high school. The record shows that many of the adults and my teachers and so forth thought I was a very hard-working guy, serious, and it was a pleasure to teach. Very patriotic also. Of course, after 1939, I either had to go find a job or work for my dad, so I decided to work for my dad, and in the process got a deferment from the draft for the war that was just started. I worked for Dad for 3 years and decided when I turned 21 that I would go into the military, which I did. I went and registered for the United States Army and was almost immediately assigned to Camp Warner, Georgia. Camp is south of Macon. It's a big place where we went through basic training, and after graduation from basic training, they taught us the combat arms which we would need when we were sent to Europe. After graduation, I became a PFC, and they sent us to Camp Shenango, Pennsylvania, which was sort of a holding area where they organized units to transfer into the war zone for either as replacements or additions. My orders came 2 weeks later, and it was for North Africa. My unit went to New York City. We got on a boat, and 2 weeks later we were in the fight in North Africa. I was in one campaign in North Africa before the orders came for Sicily. I was in a headquarters company at that time. The whole company went across the Med, and immediately we were in this Sicily combat.
Harold was killed in action August 9, 1943. His parents were notified by the War Department a few days later. He was buried in a cemetery in Sicily between Palermo and Messina. Later, his remains were exhumed and shipped home, and he was brought home to North Webster and buried in the North Webster Cemetery August 12, 1948.